killed that.
All right, and we are back here with another match. We have the third and fourth place match where it's Grand Island Northwest versus Seward, and I am here with my co-host now, actually, my roommate.
Hey, what's
Brody.
up? It is your boy OG Baba. Hey, Tristan, tell me, what map is this called?
So this is Rialto, and this is actually a escort map, which we have not seen today. So the escort map is exactly what we saw on Hollywood, where you push a payload, except without the capturing the point, obviously.
Very cool. I appreciate your game knowledge and your map knowledge. However, I think you mispronounced it. It's actually Rialto. But I can forgive that. We'll look past that. Look at that big old clock. That's cool.
All right, so as we get started here in 10 seconds, we will see Grand Island Northwest play Seward High School, who actually last time played Skutt, and it was a very, very aggressive, very, very competitive match. And Grand Island Northwest played Platteview and did as much as they could, but Orion was just too much. So here we go. We can see a very brawly comp once again by Seward, trying to get a very good comp going. We're going to see Grand Island Northwest go with more of a Rhine Diva combo, which is a very interesting combo against Zarya Rhine.
Oh yeah, the second that wall goes up from that May, they're going to want to crash that Reinhardt, and that's exactly what they did. Excellent play by Seward High School there. You were talking about how aggressive they were in the last game, and though I wasn't here, I can totally see it. That May hiding and running for her life, and that Widow got an early pick in the fight on a healer, on that support character, which really ended up helping Seward High School.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, those healers are probably one of the most important points of the team, and being able to be aggressive enough to get into the back line or even get a pick on the back line is something that Seward has been doing a very good job as. They went a very good dive combo against that Skutt team to be able to get into the back line to stop those Soldier BAP ult combo.
As a Reinhardt, it's always a hard balance between holding your shield up too much and not shielding enough. And it looks like when a lot of Reinhardts start panicking, they just go straight to shield and jump backwards. Whereas sometimes they just need to swing that hammer, get in the other team's face, and say, hey, back up. Mine is bigger than yours, buddy.
Yeah, and once again, it looks like this Rhine Zarya, like I said before, is a little too overpowered for this Rhine Diva, but a good shatter here, just not enough, as Smug gets another pick on a Tracer, a nice pick there probably, and a Baptiste as well, and once again, Ripus and Smug just doing a very good job of getting some picks here to be able to push up even further.
That Diva, smart to dive out of the way, would not want to get demech'd right now, being apart from her team, and would end up just being a trickle kill and removed from the next team fight. So did good to make the smart move and take a step out.
Yeah, Grand Island Northwest is going to go ahead and hold the high ground here against Seward, and it looks like it's going to be a 3v6 here, though, so they have the numbers. Seward, once again, being aggressive team, is going to push out into the open, but they call out a nice pick behind it, a nice fire strike there by Ripus, and a big pin here on the Moira, but not going to get a big shatter, and the Diva goes down, and that's going to be a sweep for Seward.
A Reinhardt in a closed space is always dangerous, with that Diva, or Battle Mercy, putting in some damage as well. Now that Soldier putting some pot shots in, doing his work. As a soldier, if you're not in the middle of a team fight, just be firing damage into anything.
The one thing that I would say for Grand Island Northwest here is the Diva needs to do a better job with the back line and trying to defend them against the Widow. It seems like Smug getting some picks on the back line is really getting some value, so being able to fall back and help your healers is a big, important thing for them here.
And what I would say is, for a name like Spooky, he should be like sneaking around corners and trying to scare them or something. Almost a great pin on that Widow. However, maybe a smarter move would have just been to walk up and slap her around, fire strike that, because they have a very small health pool, right? Didn't she get nerfed recently?
Yeah, she's 175 now, but there's going to be a big grab combo here and a big pin on the Reinhardt, and it's going to actually get a kill. Oh. And instead it pinned the Soldier.
Is that a team kill or just a 5-piece? 5-piece. Dang.
And so now they're going to push up the door here. They're going to get the Baptiste with a nice pick by Spooky.
Going to be able to trickle that support, which is a huge deal, as that's their main support moving into potentially the last team fight of the map. That's a great advantage to have going into this, but they do have the spawn advantage over on the side of Northwest, so we'll see what's happening here. Seward High School might have the ability to pull out the win right here, but Spooky looking awfully scary. Those Helix rockets putting in some damage preliminary, seeing what he can do here. moving through the back line, getting into the front.
All right, and here we go. We're going to see a nice counter pin here by Ripus, which was very, very good. Allowed him to stop from being pinned by that Reinhardt and possibly even getting killed. And now they even get the shatter off, and it's going to get down the immortality. He's going to start swinging away, and they're going to get some picks here. And that's going to be it for Seward as they push. Most likely will push it to the end here.
Reaper in the back line, not going to be able to contest, it looks like. And
there it is.
Spooky did get that spoopy pick on their Reaper right at the last second.
Yeah, the biggest thing for Grand Island Northwest here was not being able to take care of that Widow. The Widow was very consistent, and being able to fall back to help your support line in key scenarios like that is very, very valuable for that Diva pick, which is mainly what it's actually used for, or being able to even dive the Widow in general, but I never really saw that from Grand Island Northwest. Seward did a really good job of being able to be very, very aggressive as they were against Skutt, and that's going to allow them to win this map if they can do that on defense as well.
Now, I know this is Overwatch, but somebody posed an interesting idea in the chat, GTA 5 team deathmatches for esports. How do you feel about that?
Well, I would say that most likely, probably for a school aspect, wouldn't be very appropriate.
Oh, the fact that it's GTA 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be tough.
But I think that maybe for the pros, if you're looking for another game besides Overwatch,
hey,
get some value out of it.
There's always that. Crowbar, #goated. Anyway. Moving to this next map, the roles are going to be reversed. Now we're going to have Seward High School on the defense, and it looks like there are a couple changes. Not going to say it too loud because we are broadcasted live to the room with both teams, so we don't want to give anything away. However, things are looking hot and spicy.
Yes, Seward needs to do a very good job again of being very aggressive here. And the ult economy last game was very, very good. They did not use their ults in scenarios that they didn't have to. And Grand Island Northwest honestly did the same. They did a very good job of using their ults when it was needed. The BAP window earlier allowed them to push in a little bit further on defense, and Seward had to back up a little bit, but it just wasn't enough to get some picks to possibly win the team fight.
Absolutely. How do you feel about Ribius's Reinhardt skin?
I think it's a very good skin for the comp that they're using, you know, because, I mean, they have Spooky. So
that's so true.
You have to have some spooky skins for some spooky comp.
Personally, I'm a classic man. I never go out of style. So I'm a big fan of the Blackheart skin that is being rocked on the northwest side. Seward does have that spooky element. And
it might just be enough to get them the win.
It might just be enough to give them that cosmetic competitive edge.
So here we go. As we can see, there's a few picks here trading, but it's going to be a tank versus a DPS. So now we're going to see if Seward can actually capitalize to be able to make the difference here and push in. And that's going to be a big
massive shatter!
Man shatter. And that's going to be enough for Ripus to get in there and get the 3K to be able to eliminate all of GINW.
And of course, that whole team fight was initiated by that Reinhardt v. Reinhardt. Ripus, overseeing the kill on oversight there, did a really good job to make sure the shield tank for the team was out of the way so he could get that shatter down.
Yes, and it was a very, very valuable shatter for the entire team, and we saw that last time. Ripus did a very good job on tank of being able to get some very good picks in key scenarios. Now, Sandman's going to get a pick on the Reaper here, but they're going to actually get Ripus this time, which means that their shield is down, and they're going to see if they can maybe push here, but the window comes out by Sandman, and this is going to be key for them. They're going to break the shield.
Oh no, she got immortality. She was able to get that kill on that soldier, but that immortality ended up saving some of their team, the people who weren't able to get around the corner. Sandman will now fall.
Big pick on Sandman.
Huge pick on that main healer. And
but now they're going to nano the Rhine. Smug's going to get a pick.
Smash?
And Seward's going to clean it up with a nice nano Rhine, and on top of that, a Dragon Blade by Smug here.
Dangerous, ult economy wise. We used a lot of ults in that fight right at the end, especially moving into this next fight, looking what people have, but you also have to consider there's 2 minutes left. Is this where we want to die? Is this the hill we want to fall on? And if you're Seward, maybe.
Wow, they did a very good job of staggering that diva there. So now they're going to actually have to fall back for GINW to be able to get their entire tank comp, but they're not going to be able to. It's going to be a big grab there on bridge. And Smug gets picked because of the trap. They're going to be able to get out, but now Fufu falls off. And that's going to probably be it for GINW on this push. They're going to have to wait to push even further.
Teams are filing into the room with esports Overwatch-related signs. You'll love to see it. That, what's her name with the bubbles?
Zarya.
Zarya putting damage into D.Va through that shield, and now Soldier's going to be getting into the mix here.
Yes. Once again, this D.Va is doing a good job of getting into positions to be able to get picks, but unfortunately is not able to capitalize off of those picks. And a big Rhine shatter here again, another 3-man shatter, and they're going to go in and just clean it up again. The very aggressive playstyle by Seward has been a big key for them here in this match.
The name of the game here has been Reinhardt Shatters.
I think the name of the game here is Doorways, actually.
Doorways is also, I mean, they're working in those small rooms, those alleyways, taking those back flanks through those hallways, so it's always important to be sure where you are. But keeping in mind, what is my shield economy at? Am I able to pull it up here, or is this too dangerous of an area? Did that soldier get slept?
So they're actually gonna, yes it did, and they're actually gonna nano the D.Va here, who's gonna get antied, but now they're gonna nano the Rhine encounter, and the Rhine's gonna get into the back line to try and get some picks on some supports, and he does. Ripus gets a big pick, but there's a big shatter by Overseer. And they're going to get Ripus, and now they're going to be able to push it up a little bit. It's going to be a 4v3 on this side, and a big pin on the Ana, and that's a main healer down.
Everything's coming up Reinhardt.
Have to be the only healer.
This is beautiful. Spooky's going to get picked.
Gorilla Munch is going to try and hold as long as he can. Smug's going to come in with a big blade here, but there's going to be the D.Va bomb. And now Seward coming in, and they're going to clean it up, maybe, possibly.
That Ana running for dear life, knowing she doesn't have a whole lot of time, but luckily that Brigitte is going to be able to back her up.
Oh, and a big pick on the Ana there, because now they only have Brig heals, and the Brig is going to go down too, and Seward's going to keep it.
Seward will full hold this point here. Right? That's a full hold? Or, okay.
An amazing job by Seward there, once again being very aggressive on that last point. It looked like they had lost it as it was a 2v4, but the Blade and the Zarya were able to go in and make a difference in that team fight. And this is just a big shatter by Ripus here, and a big 3-man to be able to keep them from getting any capitalization on some picks.
Look at his target perception there. Even after he gets the shatter, he takes a second to span the entire team that he's just knocked on their butts, and then picks the squishiest characters to throw that fire strike in. Just a really good decision making by him, and great work by the rest of the team to assist Ripus in this fashion.
All right, and we are back here on Control, which is another map that we have not seen today. This is the one where now the teams have to compete for a King of the Hill type style of gameplay for 3 total maps on this one match.
That is so true, Cutie. You look at this map and you can see the Asian architectural influences. Every map in Overwatch is actually based on a historical place, though the names are not identical sometimes. Exceptions to this rule are Gibraltar, of course, which is on the southern coast of France.
Lijiang Tower is based off of the Asian continent.
Yes, and there is also a map that has an eerily similar vibe to Ia, Greece. So as we get into this one, we will be watching both teams compete for control of that beautiful, beautiful tower in the sky.
So this is where the big contest is going to be that aggressiveness, and we're going to see 2 Pharah combos here.
Is that common?
One with a Mercy, but one without a Mercy, which is not very common.
That
this is going to be a big pick on the Overseer there.
Yeah.
So now we have Gorilla Munch pulling in, and he's going to actually get, Smug's going to get Fofa here. And they're going to get the picks, and that's, again, Seward being very aggressive here is very key for a point like this especially, because now they're able to get some, and a nice hook there on the D-meching D.Va to get the finish by Gorilla Munch.
Hashtag poggers, am I right? Pharah looking super cute in the sky, and Sandman's going to agree and take her out for himself.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that statement as well.
Oh, yeah. Now we're going to see Ripus feeling nice and ripe.
Oh, and a great pick on that Ana there by Smug. That makes them have to fall back most likely, and he's probably going to pick her on the Reaper too. A big pick. And now the Junkrat's going to actually jump on top, and it's going to be...
Smug will not be denied.
Not be able to get in there. And that was interesting by Timmy the Plant to be able to actually get in there. I mean, the team wasn't with him, and now it seems like GINW is just pushing in separately and not pushing in together as a team and completely just staggering, which means now they're not able to get their full value as a team.
It feels like somewhere GINW got their wires crossed, and they're just not working together in the fashion that they would like to be right now. However, that Ripus kill was pretty fergalicious, as we're seeing some epic damage put onto the back line.
I would say that is indeed the definition, but But now we're going to actually see the change here as Ripus gets a good pick on Sir Cluck. And now we're going to see them pushing back to main point, and now GINW again is just going to have to be able to push back and wait for their other tank, because it seems again that this D.Va Rein comp has not been able to really make a difference against the Reinhardt that Ripus has been putting out. And so I think that it's very interesting to see what GINW is going to make and what they're going to do with this D.Va to be able to really truly make a difference here on this fight.
You know, you go by many names, Tristan, Reactions, Sweetums. I don't remember what I was going to say, just wanted to say that.
And so now they're going to be a big pick by Spooky here. Spooky's going to get a 5-man here, actually, and that's going to be a big deal for Seward here, as, again, the aggressiveness is coming across. Now, the ult economy, once again, they have almost 5 ultimates here, or 4 ultimates here, which is just insane to think about. And now it's going to be a thing of, can there be a good enough change for GINW to make the difference in how they attack? And now they're actually going to be on point here. A big ult by Smug to get Timmy the Plant, and a big Rhine shatter by Ripus, but now he's going to get pinned, and it's going to be taken off the map.
That might be the best move for them, considering that they do have that D.Va who did down mech on point. Yes. So taking out the shield tank who's kind of been controlling the map and exchange
and a
your
big
shield tank.
Pick by Sir Cluck there, and it's actually going to be not enough, as the picks once again by Smug here were the big difference maker in that last point. He, as the Reinhardt was charging off, as nobody else saw, he got a pick on both supports and made the difference there in the end. I mean, when you don't have supports, obviously you're not going to win a team fight.
When you don't have heals, you can't get health. That's what I always say. So.
All right, so we're going to go into the second point here, which is actually Lijiang Tower. It's going to be the center control, which is a very indoor map. So seeing them on the Pharah, see if they stay on the Pharah here to make a difference here, or
now,
if they go for a different comp here.
Brittany, can you look up at the camera? So actually, that up there is a satellite in the stars. A lot of people don't know that. That's it.
All right. Very good words of advice by Brody here to be able to point that out to us. But now we're going to be getting into the actual game here, where we're going to see a very interesting comp by GINW here, finally falling off of the D.Va to be able to get a Roadhog. And we're actually going to see a Doomfist here by Smug. So now we're going to have just Seward walking into the team, and Gorilla Munch gets a big pick on a support there. It's not the main support, but it is a support, which is enough. And now the Rhine charges, but it's not going to be enough as he's going to get picked off. And Smug, once again, being the difference maker, picking off both supports and then picking off both of the DPS. Certainly a huge difference there.
Certainly surprising to see this change from Smug, as he went from a character who counters both projectile and a short hit scan to play a character countered by both of them.
Yeah.
But still putting in that extra damage in the back line, making that shield tank worry. And ultimately, if you're in their face enough, you're going to see errors be made.
Yeah, the one thing for this Smug pick, though, is going to be making sure that T-Let on the Reaper doesn't get near him to the point where he can just pick him off easily, because that would be very detrimental to their team comp, because of the fact that they are relying on him to be able to dive into the backline and get the supports. Sandman, speaking of which, is going to get the Doomfist, and it's going to be a trade on Roadhogs here. And now we're going to have a support down by Smug, once again, and a big shatter for Overseer here, and he's going to get both of the tanks here in a big pin, and that's going to be a big key for Seward. And once again, the aggressiveness is just taking over. We saw this in the Skutt gameplay, where Seward against them was very, very aggressive in that gameplay.
Another thing for Smug to be watching out for is those Junkrat mines. If he gets caught in those, it could be game over.
Yes.
His maneuverability is the biggest key concept element of playing Doomfist, and when that's taken away, he's kind of like a duck sitting in molasses.
And a big Reaper ult here, or a Roadhog ult, excuse me, to get the other Roadhog and now push the team back. And even Shadow Sniper getting into the action to pick off the Roadhog, maybe stole that kill a little bit, but a big snipe there on Frenzy, the Brig too, and there's going to be a Nanoed Rhine coming into the middle of the team.
And here's the Doomfist ult, just trying to zone out some of that area, making sure that Northwest can't come in and defend their players who's stuck in the backline there of Seward, which means Seward's going to be able to get that easy pick. Of course, Overseer is going to miss that hook, meaning that he is not going to be able to assist his team in this fight. nearly in the capacity that he would like to be. And this Reinhardt putting in damage, swinging his hammer, 99%. He's really got to get on
What
point.
a big shatter, a four-man
will they
shatter,
be
but
able
it's
to
not going to
keep
be
this
capitalized on as GINW is going to fall to 4th place, and Seward will go up to 3rd after a 2-0 victory. A very good job by Seward to be very aggressive in that last team fight, and a big shatter there at the end, but was not able to capitalize. And the name of the game is Smug. I mean, he really did a lot to be able to get into the back line and get some picks that were very valuable for the team as a whole. And this right here was just impressive to be able to make the difference here. So,
Smug, I want to give you a hug and buy you a pug, and then...
some other word that rhymes.
Yeah.
So, all
We won't
right.
get into it.
We will be back later as we watch the championship match of Platteview versus Skutt, where two teams that are very aggressive and a team player as Orion getting 91 elims in his first match.
Sweetums, that is blowing my mind right now. All right, cuties, we will talk to you momentarily.